This is a fake one-sided rivalry. We got Angel Reese taking more shots at Caitlin Clark unnecessarily. You in Indiana having a great time partying. We see all the clips. Why can't you just do your thing? Why can't you just do
chaos at the WNBA All-Star Game? What was supposed to be a celebration of women's basketball turned into a nightmare. Angel Reese in tears. Caitlin Clark sidelined. Ticket prices plummeted. Fans furious. And now, the WNBA is left scrambling. How did the biggest event of the year collapse into controversy? Stay tuned because this story is bigger than basketball.
Can Sarah Spain and the media stop going out there and saying that, the Caitlin Clark needs to do something to stop all this, when it is very clear this is a one-sided beef, and the one-sided beef is not from.
To understand what happened, we have to start with the rivalry, or as many call it, the one-sided rivalry. Angel Reese has spent the past year attaching her brand, her interviews, and even her podcast to Caitlin Clark. Every promo clip, every viral quote, it always circled back to Clark. And while Clark kept quiet, letting her play do the talking, Reese doubled down.
Our show, though, with unfortunate news out of the WNBA. Caitlin Clark announced today that she will miss both the three-point contest and the WNBA All-Star Game this upcoming weekend in Indiana after re-aggravating a groin injury in that final minute of Tuesday's win over the Connecticut Sun. Clark had missed 4 games and the Commissioner's Cup final with that groin injury earlier this month, and now will be out for this weekend's festivities, which really stinks for fans, but you know that if there was any way that
the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis was supposed to be a landmark moment. Caitlin Clark playing in her home state. Angel Reese launching her shoe line with Reebok. ESPN hyped it. Sponsors invested millions. Fans traveled from across the country. It was Clark versus Reese, the rivalry the league hoped would carry women's basketball into mainstream relevance.
We have been following throughout the past 2 days surrounds a superstar herself, Caitlin Clark, the WNBA star, the Indiana Fever star, Caitlin Clark. She's going to miss all the action on the...
But then disaster struck. Just days before the weekend, Clark aggravated her groin injury. News broke she would miss the three-point contest and the All-Star Game. In one announcement, the hype vanished. Fans who had flown in for Clark were left heartbroken. And ticket prices crashed nearly 50% overnight.
Caitlin Clark gets hurt, and guess what? Your demand vanishes because people ain't going to pay up to see these athletes that are ungrateful that their sport's growing. People aren't paying up for that. And we are here, right here. The tickets for this game, for this All-Star Game, they've dropped by 50%.
While most players dialed back out of respect, Angel Reese went full throttle. Her Reebok shoe launch became the headline, plastering Indianapolis with slogans like, "Walk in your trap, take over your trap," in Clark's backyard, while Clark couldn't even step on the court.
Comes to the vendors in the arena, the shops in the arena, they're not going to have the same amount of people patronize their business as they would if Caitlin Clark was there. The surrounding restaurants, the surrounding areas, the surrounding attractions, they're not going to have the same number of people patronize their business as they would if Caitlin Clark.
Social media exploded. Some fans called it marketing genius, but most saw it as opportunistic, even disrespectful. Reese wasn't battling Clark on the court, she was using her absence to grab headlines. And when confronted during post-game interviews, Reese broke down in tears, saying the criticism had become unbearable.
Angel Reese are taking shots at Caitlin Clark, using her as promo. Angel Reese, let's be clear here. Let's just be all the way clear here. Angel Reese is a solid basketball player. Angel Reese 100% has benefited from attaching herself to Caitlin Clark at every single turn. Her podcast, the first 3 episodes, all the clips promoting was bringing up Caitlin Clark. It was bringing up Caitlin Clark in all of the promo. People wanted to know what she was going to say. She used Caitlin.
Here's the reality. Caitlin Clark isn't just another player. She's the economic engine of the WNBA. Without her, Ticket demand dropped nearly in half. Merchandise slowed. Local businesses in Indianapolis lost thousands. Sponsors panicked. Angel Reese's campaign, instead of being seen as a flex, was overshadowed by Clark's absence, proving once again that Clark drives the league's momentum.
Angel Reese, I'm in your city. Walk in your trap, take over your trap. Post it on Instagram. There's about 15 fans there, and Reebok put up a board. You would expect Reebok to put up a board. Let's never forget that when let's never forget the gigantic Caitlin Clark Nike billboard in Chicago. Let's never forget that. So, if Reebok didn't put up a board for
This All-Star weekend was meant to showcase women's basketball's rise. Instead, it revealed how dependent the league is on one player. Caitlin Clark's absence exposed the cracks, and Angel Reese's attempt to seize the spotlight backfired, turning what could have been her biggest moment into public humiliation.
Continue to take shots at her, and then when them shots get fired back, nobody likes it. We don't have no videos of Caitlin Clark really taking shots at Angel Reese. Look at what Angel Reese and Reebok are doing for views. Walk in your trap, take over your trap. This is promo they're doing in Indianapolis, where Caitlin Clark plays. That is a clear shot. It's a clear shot. Like I said, this is a fake rivalry. I think you've won one game versus Caitlin Clark. You've never won in Indiana at all. It's just like you continue to attach yourself to her at every turn.
So what happens now? Reese faces mounting criticism for her all-star stunt. Clark must recover quickly or risk losing momentum. The Chicago Sky are dealing with internal drama after clashes between Reese and coaches. And the WNBA must find a way to build storylines that don't collapse when one star goes down.
Has never said a negative word about Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark has never said a negative word. Or, to be honest, when it comes to Caitlin Clark, she did show it by her actions. She didn't need to say, I'm taking over Chicago. She did, however, go and put up 31 and 12, set a career high with 12 assists, be the only player in the history of the WNBA ever to have 31 and 12 in a game. She did, in fact, do that and then try to hype up the Chicago crowd. So it's fair enough. You want to say, oh, Caitlin Clark did this, then show it with your actions. Go and win MVP. Don't just be like, this is my city. Don't just come in and be like, this is my city. You've never won a game. Has she won a game in Indiana? I don't think she's ever won a game in Indiana. I actually do not think she has won a pro game.
Angel Reese wanted to take over Clark City. Instead, she walked away in tears. The All-Star Game went from a celebration to a cautionary tale. And the rivalry? Still one-sided. But one question remains. Is this the beginning of the end for Angel Reese's image? Or just the start of the WNBA's most controversial era yet?
Reebok she's using. This is nonstop. She has attached herself to Caitlin Clark at every single turn, and she has benefited. Let's be clear here. Yes, she does receive backlash. She does receive negativity, but she has benefited greatly. She has made millions of dollars off of attaching herself to Caitlin Clark and using her to make her brand.
4 points, 27 minutes, and tears on national television. Angel Reese wanted the spotlight at the WNBA All-Star Game, but instead, she walked away humiliated. Ticket prices collapsed. Caitlin Clark's absence exposed the league's fragile foundation. And Reese? She became the center of a scandal the WNBA can't ignore. This is the inside story of the night Angel Reese's career took its darkest turn.
This is absolutely a one-sided rivalry. And we've got to say it like it is. We can't say Caitlin needs to do this, Caitlin needs to do that. Let's be real. The only reason this is still a rivalry is because the other side of the rivalry won't stop it. And by the way, it is extremely beneficial for Angel Reese
to understand this meltdown, you have to understand the so-called rivalry. Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. But make no mistake, it's always been one-sided. Reese has built her brand, her interviews, even her shoe line, around Clark's name. Clark, on the other hand, she rarely mentions Reese at all.
Not just the on-court product that suffers without number 22, Caitlin Clark. The entire weekend's economic opportunities have felt the fallout. This was conveyed with a July 18th post from NBA Central that wrote, quote, "The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48% from $121 a ticket to $64 a ticket after the news broke that Caitlin Clark won't."
The 2025 All-Star Game in Indianapolis was hyped as the biggest weekend in women's basketball history. Caitlin Clark's home state. Angel Reese unveiling her Reebok campaign. ESPN promos. Packed hotels. Businesses stocked for record tourism. It was supposed to be a celebration of the league's future.
$121 all the way down to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin Clark won't be playing. These are people saying, I'm done. I don't want to watch. Caitlin Clark's not. I bought tickets solely to watch Caitlin Clark in the All-Star Game. I made accommodations solely to get to Indiana to watch Caitlin Clark in the All-Star Game. She's injured. I have no interest.